All done. So, to the upper right hand side, we're going to start things off with our red Terran player. It is going to be from Root Gaming. It is Kalazar. Down to the lower left from Team Gravity, it's going to be our yellow Terran. It is Abaddon. Playing as a barcode here today. Apparently he name changed his main account over to a barcode and now can't yeah, I mean it's kind of I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, kind of funny. I think he thought the Team League season was over, and so he just renamed his account, and then he realized he has more matches to play, so it's a little bit unfortunate. Again, Gravity, they can't make out. The group Root Gaming are more or less already secured first place in the group. A win today would 100% secure them for the first place in the group. A loss is the only way they can, even if they win, 100% first place in the group. If they lose, then it depends on results from Invasion still, but it'll still be kind of interesting, so... You're going to see this SCV from Abaddon just coming across the map to see what's going on to begin with. Kalazar going to be getting out a Reaper here in a moment or two. So, the Reaper starting up about halfway done. I'm just going to be seeing the SCV, having a look around to see what's going on. It's just a Reaper expand, whereas on the other side of the map, Abaddon is getting very aggressive very early. His factory is already building, and he's going into a second refinery as well. So, double gas here for him to get started with. As we're going to be seeing. Quick pause coming in from Kalazar. So quick pause coming in, just going to be waiting for him to sort out whatever issue or problem he may have. And again, Root's final game of the group stage, they're doing so well for themselves and heading into the playoffs, something they missed out on last season. It'll be interesting to see how they do in those playoffs. Interesting to see who they face off against. I think if they finish first place in the group, they get Millennium, which is, well, pretty brutal to say the least. It'd be really brutal if they ended up with Millennium. To be a real kind of welcoming into the playoffs, right?
Game resumed.
As we're going to see this match resuming. Sorry, go, ask Kalazar, go, says Abaddon. And off and away we head. So, as a Reaper comes across the map from Kalazar, obviously first Reaper from him looks to try and figure out what his opponent is up to. He hasn't really scouted anything so far. He didn't send out an SCV scout, which is very often. Oftentimes the case when we have this initial Reaper going to be coming out so early. There's no real need to send an SCV across, so he is going to be coming back towards the upper right hand side, and there's going to be seeing a couple of Marines coming out. A Reactor going to come down, and yeah, Reactor coming down. I mean, Kalazar falling up into his own factory, second racks as well. We've been seeing this sort of build order a lot lately, where we see kind of second racks is coming up in TVZ, TVP, TVT. It's really kind of become the go-to build order here for Terran players, and I imagine what this might be from Kalazar. I mean, a couple of different options, but it looks as though it might just be him going into a very fast stim pack, and you know, maybe a Murder Mine drop to kind of start things off, but then following up with a very fast kind of double drop with a whole bunch of fast, quick, fast stims. So a whole bunch of stim Marines dropping out of 2 medevacs. Be very powerful. This we're going to find a Helene, a grenade. They're not going to do too much. And we're just going to be pushed away off to the side. We're going to see the CC coming down in the natural expansion. So CC on the way down in the natural. And we do see that medevac is just going to be lifting and heading towards the upper right. So medevac is going to head towards the upper right, and we're going to have this SCV, this Reaper, sorry, from Kalazar just going to be moving around, continuing to try and scout here in the next few moments. I'm just going to be seeing again this medevac with a few units inside of it, looking to apply some pressure. I mean, obviously Kalazar is in a position where he's ahead in workers because of his earlier kind of command center, and so it's important for Abaddon to really try to get something done with this drop. He's going to come in here right now. We're going to see the Marines dropping out, and they wouldn't mind too, but I mean, so far so good. Only one worker lost. Good defense by whoa, he actually runs into that Widowmine there though. 4 workers killed then. Kalazar, a little bit of a mistake I think at the end, pulling them workers back in. Maybe not quite realizing that Widowmine was there or so. As his medevac taking a lot of damage, actually goes down. Ooh, he needs to keep on heading south instead of trying to cut back across there. And that is going to be, well, that's a big win for Kalazar. Obviously losing 4 workers isn't nice, but, well, Has he forgotten about the Widow Mine again? I think he might have, because right now he's not doing anything about it. He's going to kill off an SCV there, and now he'll definitely know about it once more, at least, as we see. This extra barracks, so second Rex coming up now for Abaddon. Kalazur, though, is, well, Stim's finishing shortly. He's only got a Viking out. He's not got Medivacs to drop with just yet. There's his scan coming down, and just going to be seeing again Widow Mine being cleaned out as Medivac lifts up actually a couple of Widow Mines and some Marines. They're going to go across the map. I mean, Abaddon's also going into his own drop now, but again, the fact that Kalazur is going to have Stim and so many Marines because of this early second racks is going to be really, really, it's going to be really, really kind of good for him. I mean, as long as he's actually, I think, Kalazur set up to really kind of defend this very easily. And depends where his units are when when his opponent drops in. And he's also got this Medivac out to look for damage, and actually right now, Abaddon doesn't have anything in his natural expansion, so this could be a little bit troubling for him. Miss Helene going to move forwards. A few Marines stim, and they're actually going to kill that as well. Here comes that drop. Kalazur getting a little bit out of position. The tanks are going to be able to unload. Kalazur's not paying attention over here, so he actually loses a few workers himself at the same time, though. There's Marines in this Medivac unloading. He's also doing a lot of damage, so both players dealing a lot of damage here early on. This Viking going to come forward, start turning those Medivacs away. Kalazur is going to have to try, and I think he is going to be able to kind of just slowly push this back. He drops this tank in range, but Abaddon doesn't have the vision there to actually kill it off, so Kalazur just going to be slowly working his way against that as he'll be able to clean this out. And again, he killed off a lot of workers to the bottom left. This Medivac tries to come and pick up that tank, doesn't quite get it though. And so Abaddon's first attack of this game here, or second attack of this game I guess, after that first drop, is just completely denied, completely shut down, doesn't get anything done. As Marine's going to load up into a Medivac and start moving. That's just going to shoot you out. Realize he hasn't done damage yet, he's taken too much damage. He taps out, and Kalazur going to do Kalazur vs EJK. We're just a minute in as we kick off into this. It is EJK from Gravity, the blue Terran player, to the bottom right side of the map. And down to the bottom left, it's going to be our red Terran player from Root Gaming. It's Kalazur. Can't believe we made when I said yesterday, I asked, should we, I asked, should we double the goal? Should I double it up and kind of just, or should I just leave it and see how much we get anyways? Now we hit 800, now it's 100%. Now we don't need to make it any larger. Wow. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Again, if you do enjoy the stream, you can follow, but of course if you want to support, there's lots of options all linked under the stream, such as subscribing, donating, and a Patreon to, if you would like to help us out. And to support if you enjoy the content. You'll see this Ripper going to be moving out from Kalazur, going to be moving over to the bottom right hand side of the map. So we're just going to be moving on out here from Kalazur. This time it's Kalazur who's staying on one base here for the early stages of the game. He's going to be opening with Reaper Hellion. So he's going to be opening up with Reaper Hellion and looking to see what he can get up to. EJK is going to be dropping his CC. I'm just going to be setting up into this. So he's just going to be expanding here early on. Reaper expand from him. And that means that, well, he just has to be a little bit cautious. But that means he's got a bunker coming up at the front, so he should be pretty okay here. Kalazur smartly moving away from that grenade, not getting caught in it. Bunker at the front should be enough to kind of defend. At the same time, though, I mean, there's maybe a possibility to kind of jump or kind of hide around the side. If you'd like to. He's going to see that bunker, and I'll look to see what Kalazur wants to get done. He could send his Reapers up into the main base. We see a Hellion on the way for EJK as well. As, well, Kalazur is going to be going in towards a Cloaked Banshee follow-up from this Reaper Hellion opening. So, Cloak is about to start up, and Banshee's about to be on the way. And everything is going to get set up and ready to go. This Reaper's just going to be picking away at a couple of units over here. We're going to see 2 SCVs going down, actually. Another grenade just to push a Hellion just a little further away. So, just a little bit of damage being done. A couple of Reapers popping down now. And, yeah, just going to be these units just pulling back. So, I mean, the next thing to kind of watch for is going to be this Cloaked Banshees. Actually, this Reaper comes in, going to get a little bit of damage done, already picking away at a couple of these SCVs. So Reaper just kind of actually getting a fantastic amount of damage done. I mean, that's 3 kills and now 4 before he goes down. Really fantastic job. Kalazur, I mean, he's the one who opened aggressively into Reaper Hellion, and yet here he is, the player who's not done as much damage with his Reapers and Hellions as his opponent did with just one single Reaper. Now, though, Kalazur is moving out with that Cloak Banshee. That's the other thing, though. EJK will have seen here the Cloak Banshee opening, so he knows what's coming next. He knows what's about to happen. As we see this Banshee on the way in, but, well, I mean, a Cyclone on the way up, a Viking on the way up. Actually, no turrets just yet, so despite kind of seeing this, EJK isn't quite prepared. Okay, there's that Viking finishing. Does he have scan? He's got a scan saved, so maybe his engineering bay was still just building. But look how much damage this one Banshee is going to get done. There's a scan. Here's the thing, though. He can move out of that scan range, and so he's going to stay alive a little while longer. He grabs another couple of SCVs available here. He's going to go down to the second scan, but forces a second scan alone. That's pretty nice. We're going to see that depot going to be lowered. And again, these Hellions and Reaper just going to be joined up together as we're going to see the Cyclone just getting pushed back a little bit in towards the natural. Another Mule coming down. A couple of SCVs. A few SCVs mining away on the natural expansion. And another barracks being added on as well. It's just going to be adding on a reactor. Tech lab onto the other barracks. So Kalazur lost a lot of SCVs to that one Reaper before, and his expansion is much later than his opponent's. But that first Cloak Banshee kills off 8 workers, and that really just brings this worker count to actually slightly in his favour. So 30 to 29. But his next 2 SCVs are a little bit further ahead too. So I mean, he's in a slight worker lead basically. And that's going to be pretty nice. We're going to see this Banshee coming in from Kalazur. Just going to, again, second Banshee just picking away a couple of SCVs from the edge where that turret cannot reach, of course. Gets 4 more workers killed. Doesn't even have to cloak up for that. Viking actually going to turn around and come over to the right-hand side now as well. And this Banshee's just going to be turning around once again and looking to see what he can do. In fact, if he kills off like a siege tank at the front, that sort of thing is very useful. Scan comes down, he's going to commit. And he thought about it, but SCV's being pulled means that it's not really that smart decision. Another scan, another Banshee goes down. But now again, out of scans and another Banshee on the way in. I mean, it just keeps on coming from Kalazur, just time after time. Just more aggression. We're going to see him just sitting over here. You're going to start picking away SCVs. We'll cloak up. Is he in range of a turret? I think he thinks he is. I'm not sure if he actually is. Another scan, and actually he's going to go down. Cyclone locks on. Finally, EJK kills off a Banshee with 1 scan. But, I mean, overall here, we've seen what, like, I think 14 workers killed, if not a couple more. As well as 5 scans being used up, and so Kalazur has just put himself into a very strong position here. And as we're going to be seeing a single tank just on siege from Kalazur, just going to move up this ramp and into the main base to set up a bit more of a defensive position too. A few Hellions for Kalazur are going to move out onto the map. So these few Hellions are going to be moving out here. And yeah, Hellions is going to be coming in towards the centre, and picking off a Hellion too. I mean, the air control from EJK is very good. He's got 4 Vikings against, well, just medevacs in the sky basically for Kalazur. So Kalazur is going to have to be a little bit cautious of those Vikings, but I mean, when we're talking about advantages, the air advantage is the only real advantage which EJK has currently. I mean, his upgrades are very slightly ahead. I mean, he's a little bit behind on Stim and a little bit behind on combat, but he's a little bit ahead on +1, so that's something he's got going for him. I mean, the one thing that's really nice is with this advantage, you can maybe make more advantages. It's one of the advantages in this game, in the TVT, that you can maybe use to kind of further yourself in the game. Quite often, if you have like an army supply advantage, for example, or an army, if you have like an army advantage, you can't necessarily better yourself in the game because your opponent is just going to sit on a defensive tank line. So with the air control, though, you can kind of move forwards and you can kind of set up these tanks in an aggressive position and pick off a couple of depots. There's just little things you can do. As you're going to see, though, Marines coming in from the backside. Oh man, he picks up the medevacs, the tanks into the medevacs, but the medevacs get targeted down from the Marines stimming in from the north. And now actually EJK is losing his Vikings too. Only 2 of them remaining. Kalazur kind of obviously saw that one coming and shut that down immediately, picking off those medevacs, and EJK is all of a sudden in, well, a whole world of pain now. Here we are just talking advantages, and well, now he doesn't have one. It's all gone, disappeared, just done for. As we're going to see, a couple of tanks just lifting into a couple of medevacs. And just going to be seeing those couple of medevacs just moving over towards the right side of the map as we see the main army for Kalazar coming through the middle. Another stim here just to push forwards and clean up those few units that have already been a little bit of a nuisance in the center. As these units are going to be coming over to the right hand side to scan onto the natural. And it's going to be coming down here. So scan onto the natural, and we're just going to be seeing another couple of barracks being added on. We're going to see the Marines just going to start simming in. I mean, Kalazar sort of knows he's at an advantage here, and he's just going to come straight up this ramp. Although that being said, his Marines are starting to go down. Has to be a little bit cautious, pulling back with a couple of his tanks. Going to look to re-engage. Ooh, Kalazar maybe a little bit overzealous there. I think in a way he may have been better from just to try and keep on fighting. As we see him backing off. There's actually a third base building over here which he could have cancelled. That would have been sweet. I mean, his own third base is building in position. I mean, it's kind of weird that he doesn't even think to check it. He's going to send one Marine up there now. He's going to be very frustrated to see that it's just now morphing into an orbital. Going to realise that he missed out on a big opportunity there. Some Marine just stimming away, and well, picks up an SCV. Going to maybe get a mule as well before units come in. So gets an SCV and a mule. Well, he sort of makes up. He doesn't really make up for not killing the CC and cancelling it, but I mean, it's something, right? Better than nothing. Got a little bit of tanks into medevacs once again. His Marine count's still low after that last fight. What's the Marine count actually at for him? Only 20 with 7 tanks. It is very, very low, but the Marine count only has 17 for EJK, so I mean, it's not like he's too much further up here. So tank's going to unload. Kalazar is going to try and move through these rocks, but gets turned away. And very fortunately not crushed, but does get turned away, as we're going to see another couple of medevacs coming across the map with tanks inside. EJK is still just moving around with these few medevacs as well. Having a look to see what's going on. Scan up to the high ground. Kalazar is going to see, well, not a lot going on here. We're going to see some Marines are coming in. We're going to see a little bit of a trade between these tanks and these Marines as well. So a little bit of a trade-off coming down right now as we're going to see a couple of tanks from EJK just going to be firing away as well, as still just damage being done. Kalazar doing a very good job of this. As you're going to see these few Vikings just moving forward as well. Actually, that's a full medevac that's about to go down. I mean, Kalazar's trying to drop up here into these tanks, but one of his full medevacs goes down, so that did not succeed at all. Again, Kalazar is really struggling to do damage, and all of a sudden we see him kind of, I mean, okay, he still has advantages as 2-2 has started, for example, but he's fallen behind. He's fallen behind from the position he was in. He's not fallen behind, but he's being pulled back from the position he was in, which was so brilliant before. As another medevac goes down, EJK actually takes the supply lead for the first time in a very long time in this second game of this best of 7. Marine's just going to be moving forward. Taking the watchtower. Kalazar continuing to look to see what he can get up to. Tanks and medevacs, Marines moving forwards too. A couple of them Marines going down. See Shanking a fire onto that army. Let's see, Kalazar just going to reposition some of his tanks up to the north side. I mean, Marines are ending a very weird map when it comes to defense, and actually kind of taking a proactive defense like out here like Kalazar is a lot easier than taking a kind of defense in your bases oftentimes. Because once you take a defense in your bases, you may not find yourself a way out of that for a long, long time. Yeah, and Kalazar are going to have quite some time here where he's at an upgrade lead, and that will help him in any engagements. But this single medevac drop not going to do a lot. Already a tank siege up in the main and a few Marines there as well. Kalazar we'll see what he can do though, of course. There's a few Vikings coming forward. He's going to look, and they will maybe get a medevac or so. They do not. They go down so quickly to the number of Marines underneath. This drop going to get turned away, and Kalazar not going to find too much with this over here. As EJK though is still just holding map control, and I mean, this is the thing. You're holding map control in the middle of the map, all of a sudden, boom, you're lifted up, you're ready to go. What a turret though by Kalazar. Got a lot of damage done here. He's trying to stim in and intercept those medevacs, and tanks going to unload. Marines on the high ground. As them tanks up from Kalazar in a very good position, picking off a couple of tanks already. He's now going to start unloading some of his Marines up here too to keep on fighting. He's going to stim on in. And EJK is sort of doing okay, but not brilliant. As we see him in the end, sort of just losing units. And there's a few more Marines stimming in. He will be forcing these tanks to lift and leave. And EJK going to get forced away there. A very weird, kind of scary little engagement there. As we're going to be seeing the Marines stepping in, actually trying to intercept. Calazur lifts up, though, realizing it's been a little bit too slow for him. As these tanks getting a little bit stuck out in the center now. One of them going down. One of the medevac's so low on health. I think that's like a 1 hit point medevac, 3 hit point medevac. As EJK will collect everything together and get ready to go once more. We're going to see another couple of tanks just loading on up here as these units from Calazur just going to move out onto the map. Big doom drop once again coming in from EJK. I mean, he's been spotted though, and he scans, he sees his opponent is sort of moving in position already to deal with it. Calazur with a Viking now as well, a couple of Vikings, just to kind of keep turning this away, realizing that that's something which is going to help him out a lot as well, though now he runs into kind of Marines in the middle. Both players just keep on running into units, and keep losing medevacs with kind of important stuff inside. As we're going to be seeing these tanks just going to be unloading. Calazur going to take a fight, going to pull his tanks a bit further forwards, but I think EJK actually has enough up here to push on through. He's going to start splitting his Marines. Calazur, realizing this fight's not going his way, begins to pull back. And, well, one medevac will get caught in the end, another one as well, and tanks will begin to unload, but Calazur's been pushed into a disadvantage now. EJK, with these recent trades, have been working wonders, and has now found himself up kind of 8-ish army supply. It's enough army supply so that it doesn't really matter. You know, from Calazur's point of view, it's like, it's not that much. He's not looking at this, he's like, oh man, you're like, uncatchable now. But it's definitely like a, oh crap, I need to be careful here. As you're going to see once again, Calazur going to have to go respond to this big drop into his main. He's going to try and chase in with these Marines, but they're just a little bit behind, and, well, tanks and Marines starting to unload here. Fortunately for Calazur's opponent's tanks were not already sieged in those medevacs, so he has a little bit of time to respond while them tanks do siege up. And in that time, he's able to sort of get a little bit better in positioning, get ready to go. And now he is starting to push forwards, and only 3 tanks left over here. These Marines are going to keep on moving forwards and going to keep on cleaning out these siege tanks as well. Slight upgrade advantage as well for Calazur with an extra attack upgrade over his opponent at this point in time. As he pushes that drop back once again. EJK main base to the 4th. I think Calazur going to be doing something very similar here very soon. Just needs to clean out those rocks, and that's just going to be the 4th base in position. But he is heavily oversaturated, so I think just lifting the main and dropping that down over there might be just as effective. Or just as necessary, even. Calazur could kind of doom drop himself. I mean, we've seen, EJK doing it multiple times, but Calazur, I mean, there's no reason he can't do it here. I mean, there's a lot of the production in the main base for EJK as well. A lot of it is spread out too. A couple of racks on the 3rd, a factory on the natural. I mean, that's nice just in case you do get your production ever camped. Always remember that if your production is spread out in TVT, that you're much more likely to be able to kind of set up in a position where you're going to be, whoa, look at this, Calazur actually held that fort because he's doom dropping sort of on top of his opponent's tanks. A very weird situation as he loads them up once again. Yeah, but just remember, always spread your production out basically amongst your bases, especially in TVT, just in case of that pace trade, which is so common in this matchup. As we're going to be seeing these tanks siege, and there's one tank siege already for EJK. Tank's going to drop on the low ground, but in range of these Marines, and that's the problem here. EJK, whenever he drops, Calazur always dropped his tanks out of range a little bit and then slowly moved forwards. Kept them away from the Marines of his opponent, as we see Calazur actually taking a pretty big lead because of this. Another big drop into the main base. I'm just going to be seeing these Marines continue with way. EJK types out GG. But what a game. What about versus Zerg, as we have to the upper left hand side of the map, the player who has taken 2 games in a row already for Root Gaming. Let's hear it if you're cheering on Calazur. And if you're cheering on the pink Zerg player to the bottom right from Team Gravity, let's hear it, guys, for Soul Spirit. Okay, so as we set up into this, ready to go. Again, how's everyone doing? Just while we got a couple moments slow opening, unless Calazur's going to throw down a couple more barracks, which he is. Okay, so 3x Reaper. So just as he opens up into 3x Reaper, just to give you guys a bit of an idea as to what's going on this week. So the schedule is something like this. Tomorrow we've got Leifeng Cup and UK matches. On Tuesday we're going to have just an evening cast on Tuesday. It's just going to be the G2A Cup. I've got to go run some errands through the day. Wednesday we'll have the First Division games from the SC2ITL and the Doryu Star Masters. Thursday we'll only have a daytime cast, and we'll do the Leifeng Cup, and then I'm going to be out in the evening. And Friday is hopefully going to be a DreamHack community stream, as well as the Leifeng Cup finals for the tournament. So that's going to be up until Friday. And then Saturday we're going to have a mixture of things depending on the schedule of DreamHack Austin and the start times. Not really sure about the weekend just yet. So that's our plan for the next few days. So if you're enjoying the games tonight and you want to see more games in the future, make sure you hit that follow button. And look to see what's going on. See what's happening. Alright, so 3-Rax Reaper here is going to be coming in from Kalazur, and obviously this is an aggressive opening from him. It is designed to just do damage early, do damage throughout, keep the Zerg low on economy, while you set up into triple CC yourself, double expand behind it. And, sometimes it just straight up wins you the game as well if you can out-control your opponent. So, that's what Kalazur may very well be banking on here. I mean, Soulspit's very good. He's an EU GM player. We're not expecting him to just never have played against 3-Rax Reaper before. We're not expecting him to have, no chance against it. But Kalazur is pretty good too, and it gets to a point where Reaper Micro is so hard to deal with when your opponents are just so good, Second Reaper jump on in here from Kalazur. It's going to be popping down a grenade, and this is the thing, especially Kalazur, who actually plays with Reapers quite a lot, is so good as well at just knowing where to place the Reaper grenades, kind of cutting off the units from kind of popping along and stuff like that. We're going to see another few Reapers just coming up here and just going to be working his way against these Lings. So Reaper's just working his way against these Zerglings, as we're going to see a few more of them Lings going down. And the Queen's just taking a lot of damage here. Can he save this one Reaper here? Yes, he can. Pulls it back, and that's the thing with good control. These Reapers are just not dying. I mean, Ling speed about to finish. Kalazur, though, is already kind of continuing to work his way through that Link, and that Queen's getting so close to that Reaper. You can see a target fire in the Reaper that's just out of range of. Getting pulled back, allowing itself to regen. Another drone. Potentially going down here. Whoa, we are lagging. I don't know why, guys. I really don't know why at all. One Reaper, I think, going down here. Yeah, one Reaper's gone down. Link's still moving around. The thing is, you can still fight Lings because of the grenades. You can still kind of section them off and so on. As we're going to be seeing the grenade coming down once again. Another grenade too. But Ling's pulling away from that, not taking the damage. Expansion up for Kalazur at home. And a third CC, no, actually going to be 2 more barracks. So Kalazur going to keep on committing to the Reapers. Big Ling counterattack, that should cancel potentially the CC. Depends how fast it gets there. It's going to be very close to cancelling it, or it's either going to cancel or it's going to just finish building and lift. It's going to be really close. I mean, what? 6 seconds? 5 seconds? 3, 2, 1. He's got on the SCV. Oh, he's just late on the SCV targeting. If he targeted the SCV a little bit sooner, that would have been perfect. But unfortunately, it wasn't. As we're going to see these Reapers just going to be coming up towards the left-hand side. Grenade coming down, and these few Reapers just working away from the high ground. And just going to be trading against those Zerglings as they run it back over to the right-hand side now as well. So, just going to see those Reapers over to the right. And we're just going to be seeing another Zergling here just taking a little bit of damage and looking to be on the way down. One Reaper going to get caught, as we're going to see these Lings still just moving around, looking to see what's up, looking to see what is happening. But Reaper's actually left out on their own, as then Ling's going to catch them. I mean, altogether, though, Soulspit's done a very good job for the most part defending this. There's still Reapers on the map, yes. But for the most part, he's got lots of roaches up. His work count is maybe a little bit lower than you'd expect it to be. I mean, maybe just a few too many roaches made here, maybe a few more than he needed. But for, he's alive and he survived this sort of kind of stage of the game. You see Kalazur with 5 racks, he's going straight into combat shield, straight into stim. And just sort of, again, no third CC, which means that he's also not building a orbital on his natural yet. Oh no, he is. Is there a third CC? Oh no, it must have just finished building into an orbital when I was looking at the structures tab. I was looking at the structures tab and it was like a command center, and then I went somewhere else and it was like an orbital already, so that confused me a moment or two there. But yeah, I mean, at this point, he's going into stim and combat. He might have a very strong follow-up, just with kind of a marine time and all. That's a lot of roaches he's got up against. I mean, one thing he is still doing here is he's still delaying the third hatchery from coming down, right? And a couple more grenades going to come in and just kind of trading. I mean, he's losing Reapers too, but he's still killing off roaches. And again, the longer he keeps his opponent off a third hatch, in general, the better this game is going for him. So a few roaches just going to be moving forwards. That drone is going to come in. He's going to pop down the third hatchery. He's going to get to this point where he's finally setting up onto 3 bases. Now, as the Reaper's just going to be moving around the right-hand side of the map. Roach is just going to kind of join up together on the edge of the creep spread. And we're going to see these Reapers just moving forwards, and again, just trying to have a look to see what is have a look to see what is going on. A single Zerg here, just again looking around as well to see what's happening. As we have a few Marauders, a few Marines just joining up together. And colours are going to be just jumping up, taking that watchtower, and then continue to move down towards this lower right side. Again, these Reapers are still just going to keep an eye on what's going on. I mean, if they find his opponent out of position a little bit, they could drive in towards the main base. Set of grenades then, I mean, he gets a lot of damage onto this third as well. I mean, there's just so many things he can threaten with these Reapers, and that's the real scary thing from Kalazur's 1-1 upgrades finishing. I wonder if he just goes across the map with kind of mass bio that he's been building for so long. I mean, he doesn't have Medivacs for a little while longer still, but I mean, he could, right? Just go for it. Just why not? I mean, well, maybe because he might lose, but that's probably my problem when I'm playing Terran, right? You know, I'm just like, well, why doesn't he just stim in and just trade with everything? Yeah, maybe that's my problem when I play Terran, just taking fights or doing things that I think are good ideas and just aren't. I mean, in a way, like, you look at the unit tab, 32 Marines and 8 Marauders against 17 Roaches, 5 Ravagers. If he attacked with 1-1 upgrade advantage, I think he'd have a pretty good shot at doing some good damage in this game if he did attack with that, but I'm just seeing again these Roach Ravagers. Let's stop following those because they're kind of making me a little bit dizzy as they move around. There you go, he's going to start moving across the map. There's 2 Medivacs on the way. Just so much bio though. I mean, you know, Soul Spirit is just kind of pumping out Roaches. Is it going to be enough? I mean, generally with Roaches you want to be ahead on army supply because Roaches are not very supply efficient for what they do. They work well in kind of lower numbers especially as well. So in this big army, I'm a little bit unsure as we're going to see Kalazur. If he just stims in and fights this, I think there's going to be a lot of potential as we're going to see some Corrosive Powers coming down. Marines and Marauders do stim and these Roaches are going to be starting to fall. So these Roaches are beginning to go down and, well, I guess this is why we saw Kalazur maybe not going into this straight away, because it was pretty close. It was very close towards the end, but he's actually still going to break through and he's going to catch a couple of these Ravagers as well. Catch them in Cussive Shells means that he's going to be able to make sure they don't manage to get away towards the natural. As the first 2 Medivacs come in now, he's going to be able to start healing this army. And oh, really nice grenade, actually putting a couple of Roaches away, and that's going to kind of, you know, be another couple of confirmed kills for him. As I think Kalazur's just got a bit too much. He's stimming on in. He's going to be taking down another couple of Ravagers. And especially when the Ravagers are going down, that's when you sort of know it's at this point where you're just sort of, you know, you've broken through the Roaches. There's only really the expensive, important units left, and they're starting to go down. That's when the Zerg player really is in a little bit of trouble. A couple more Ravagers do finish both in. I mean, in the long term, in the long run of this game, I guess one of the main problems is going to be the fact that Soul Spirit doesn't really have a setup to kind of follow up from these Roaches and these Ravagers. You know, all he has is Roach Ravager, and if he only has Roach Ravager, then he's gonna struggle. He's gonna struggle greatly as these 3 Roaches run in from the right hand side, gonna run in, pick up that SCV. These Roaches just gonna work their way through this command center. As Marauder and a couple of Marines gonna come on in, and then gonna start working their way through these Roaches. So Roaches gonna start going down, and as those Roaches fall, I'm gonna be seeing Kalazur just threatening drops and looking to try and get further damage done out on the map and just around still. Marines, Marauders, for a moment or so looking as though they're going down the left hand side. Now they're going to go through the center. This drop's still going to look to distract in the natural as he hits through the middle of the map. As these Medivacs are coming forwards, and again just looking to see what might happen. Single Ravager begins to morph in as these Roaches and the Ravager just having to be a little bit careful. As these couple Medivacs are again just flying on through and just going to end up just over to the left hand side. Big stim in here as these Roaches are beginning to fall, so Roaches going down. It's one of these situations when we see kind of Kalazur coming in for another drop as well, and he's just trading so well. He's got a +2 weapon upgrade, which is not in the game for our Zerg player. I mean, he's been on 1-1 upgrades, hasn't even begun to start 2-2. That's the sort of another issue here, where Kalazur is just pulling ahead in other ways than just straight up army. And time after time, we're kind of watching the Zerg side of the map because you know why? Kalazur's not doing, you know, not taking any damage at home. He's got a 3rd CC in position, mining, but you know, it's because he's continuing Kalazur to put on pressure, to apply pressure, to do damage to the Zerg, while the Zerg does nothing in return. I mean, a few Roaches moving up this right hand side to kind of come and, you know, try and counterattack, but they're going to be spotted very quickly here by this Marine, which just dropped off on the watchtower. And now we're going to see a couple of Medivacs just boosting on over here, going to try and catch those Roaches as well. So Kalazur is always kind of having an answer to any aggression from his opponent, and those upgrades are rolling in. His +3, +2 is going to be finishing soon, whereas we see +2 attack only just now starting for Soul Spirit. So again, it's a matter of upgrades. It's a matter of the fact that Soul Spirit's army doesn't transition well against larger and larger clumps of bio. When you have larger clumps of bio, you need something like Fungal Growth so you can Fungal or Corrosive Bile combo. You need to switch into Ultralisk so you have a late game. You need a plan, because at some point, this Roach Ravager army just becomes ineffective. It becomes just not good enough to fight against a Bio Terran. It's just not good enough to keep on trading. It's like, you know, it's like a lot of cities. It's like you don't just keep on building Marines against this Protoss player who has kind of a whole bunch of Colossi, right? You know, you continue to tech. You don't just keep on building only Roach Ravager against a Terran whose bio just keeps on growing. And I mean, it sounds silly because bio is a low-tech sort of army. But it's just the way that bio synergizes with those medevacs that allows you to trade so well against the Roaches, which, again, with the Ravagers have a good synergy as well. And, you know, yeah, ever since Ravagers came into the game in Legacy of the Void, Roach-based compositions have become a lot more effective. But still, not quite enough. I was going to see these Marines, Marauders, and medevacs just looking to potentially move through the center. Actually going to move through the left-hand side, maybe just going to be looking to push into towards the 4th base here in the very near future. And again, a group of units over to the right-hand side from Kelazur just going to be sat over here, waiting to see what's next. And as these Roaches and Ravagers just have to be a little bit careful right now, as they're actually going to end up getting completely surrounded. Kelazur's job is still down to this bottom side, and at the same time his army's coming in from the north, so he did lose a couple of units here as he runs on in, because Soul Spirit did. As here we go, I mean, Kelazur just steps forwards right into this army. And you can just see there the power of a well-upgraded Bio Force in high numbers against just Roach Ravager. And again, I mean, it's a bit of an exaggerated. We're kind of just a little bit off the original plan, you know, which is a bit of a shame. But we'll cast to those matches that we missed tonight from replays, probably on Wednesday. And again, we don't like doing things from replays, but it's just the way today turned out. As we see to the 4 o'clock position, it'll be our pink Terran player. Let's hear it, guys, if you're cheering on Gravity's Rinka. And to the left-hand side, going to be our red Terran player from Root Gaming. It's Kelazur. Alright, so as we set on up, it's a Rax gas from both players so far. I'm going to keep an eye to see whether it's going to be a second gas from either player, but well, actually, okay, we're going to see Kelazur actually opening for a second Rax. Kelazur just loves his Reapers, man. He loves his Reapers, like, time after time, just Reapers, Reapers, Reapers every game, it seems. Even in the TVTs, we saw this actually a lot from him yesterday, I want to say, in the Home Story, was it A qualifiers yesterday in Home Story Cup? I think it was. As we're going to see, this SCV doesn't quite spot that second Rax, and so this is kind of a little bit weird because Narinka's kind of sat on the low ground, like, oh, well, you know, expecting him to expand as he is doing. That is not the case, as we see that first Reaper on the Wraith for both players, but again, it's 2 Reapers in production overall for Kelazur. Just a couple of Reapers on the way up. That one SCV going to back away from Rinka, but I mean, he came in, he saw 1 gas, 1 Rax. So maybe he's starting to think about this. He's either, I mean, 2 things on his mind, either a high ground expansion or kind of something like a 2 Rax Reaper. So we will see. As we see these couple of grenades just coming down from both players. And Loop is just backing away from each other as well. There's one Reaper actually going to go onto that watchtower, and actually Kelazur, both players actually getting a pretty similar fight here, but Kelazur has a little bit of a better fight and does win that out. So he actually kills off the Reaper of his opponent, which is problematic because Renka, I mean, he's starting up a bunker over here. Does that really help him at all? I mean, I don't even think he's going to get that bunker up at all. This first Marine is also in a lot of trouble. That's going to go down. This bunker is not going to finish either. And so this second Marine is also in trouble, and Renka just types out GG. Absolute disaster for him. And 2 minutes.